BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines news show on the Remnant's Call.
It's called End Time Prophecy News.
La llamada al remanente noticias.
Our first stories are from Israel.
La primera historia viene de Israel.
But this one is about Jewish people.
Esta noticia se trata de la gente judía.
The second largest grouping of Jewish people outside of Israel
El segundo grupo de gente judía fuera de Israel
is not in New York City.
no está en Nueva York.
It is in Miami, Florida.
Está en Miami, Florida.
Okay? They raised up 9% recently.
Se han alcanzado un incremento de 9%.
Okay? Lots of Spanish people are coming to Miami.
Mucha gente hispana está viniendo a Miami.
Spanish Jewish people.
Gente hispana judía.
Okay? So, you can go to Florida. All right. Here on the Temple Mount this week,
En el monte, en el templo del monte,
the wonderful Muslim, peace-loving Muslims started a riot again.
los amantes musulmanes comenzaron sus protestas otra vez.
They think that Temple Mount is only theirs.
Porque piensan que ese monte es solo de ellos.
Okay, in the next story,
La próxima historia.
okay, this is something that is very important.
Esto es algo muy importante.
Okay, the European Union
La Unión Europea
is starting to ban products from Israel,
está comenzando a prohibir productos israelíes
making them try to go back to the 1967 armistice lines.
para que tratando de forzarles para que Israel regresen a las líneas de 1967.
And the Prime Minister of Israel said he will never do that.
Y el primer ministro de Israel dijo que no haría eso
And then if
jamás.
there's a new Prime Minister,
Y si viene un primer
the
ministro,
only one that's in the lead there is Bennett Naftali.
el único que está en ahorita es Bennett
Bennett
Naftali.
Naftali.
Bennett Naftali.
He said he'll annex all of the West Bank also.
Él
He'll
está-
take it.
él dijo que va a tomar incluso Cisjordania.
So this is going to start what we see in Ezekiel and Zechariah of what's going to go on with Israel.
Con esto podríamos comenzar a ver lo que pasará en Ezequiel y Jeremías,
In Zechariah.
en Zacarías.
Okay? Anti-Semitism stories.
Las noticias de antisemitismo.
How would anybody like to buy a ring that has a swastika on it?
¿A quién le gustaría comprar un anillo que tiene una swastika?
Well, Sears, the store Sears
La tienda Sears
was selling a ring that had a swastika on it.
estuvo vendiendo un anillo que tenía una swastika.
And look at the underline thing here, the underline parts.
Y miren lo que dice aquí en lo que está señalado.
It says this jewelry item are going to make you look beautiful at your next dinner date.
Dice, esta joyería te harán mirar hermosa en tu próxima cena.
Yes, why don't you just come in a Third Reich uniform? That'll make you look really sexy.
¿Por qué no te pones un uniforme nazi y te vas a ver sexy?
Unbelievable stuff. I mean, Sears.
La tienda Sears, muy sorprendente.
Yes. Okay. And you can see this video on YouTube.
Y pueden ver esto en YouTube también.
A mob vandalizes a kosher meat market in Crown Heights.
Un grupo de personas vandalizaron una tienda kosher en Crown Heights.
Okay, because they didn't have anything else better to do.
Porque no tenían algo mejor que hacer.
And then they left saying, Heil Hitler.
Y se fueron gritando diciendo Heil Hitler.
Should have said, hello to my Smith & Wesson.
Yo le hubiera hecho, saluda a mi Smith & Wesson.
Yes. Okay. No, I forgot to take that story out. So, all right. End time prophecy, ripped from the headlines.
Profecía de fin de los tiempos, arrancada de los encabezados.
Our first prophecy
Nuestra primera profecía.
says in John 15, verse 18.
Dice aquí en Juan 15, verso 18.
It says, the world hates you, understand that it hated me first. That's Yeshua talking.
Dice aquí que si el mundo te odia, entiende que me han odiado a mí primero.
In this first story,
En la primera historia.
in Uzbek, the police raid Christians' home because they had Bibles.
En Uzbek, la policía entró a una casa de cristianos porque tenían Biblias.
How would you like your home invaded by the police
¿Cómo te gustaría que la policía entre a tu casa a invadirte?
because you had one of these in your home?
Porque tienes una de estas Biblias en tu casa.
This is where it's coming, people.
Esto es lo que está pasando.
You know, just because they had Bibles
Porque tenían Biblias
and tracts about the Lord to give out to people.
y unas papeletas que hablan del Señor para dar a la gente.
And the fine for this family
Y la multa para esta familia
was 50 times the national yearly salary.
era 50 veces más de lo que es el salario anual.
Okay, and he says that they say you can't have any religious material in your home.
Y dice que no pueden tener ningún material religioso en casa.
Okay, in the next story,
En la próxima historia,
in Florida,
en Florida,
the Satanists want to put up a thing next to the nativity.
los satanistas quieren poner alguna cosa al lado de la natividad.
Well, first of all, the nativity is not correct anyway.
Primero que nada, la natividad no es correcta.
For Yeshua said you shouldn't make any graven images next to me.
Porque Yeshua dice que no debes poner imágenes grabadas frente mío.
But what this is showing you is the Satanists are really just saying, yes, we're pushing our religion now.
Pero lo que te muestra esto es que los satanistas están empujando su religión ahora.
All right, the next story about the next prophecy about money.
Próxima profecía acerca de dinero.
In Matthew 6, verse 24,
En Mateo 6, verso 24,
the Lord said you can't serve two gods.
el Señor dice no puedes servir a dos dioses.
Anybody noticing that gas prices are starting to go down?
¿Han notado que los precios de la gasolina están bajando?
And everybody's like, yeah, finally.
Y todos están diciendo finalmente.
It's because the world economy is really coming into a very big problem. It's into a crisis mode.
Es porque la economía mundial está sumergiéndose en una crisis económica.
Okay? You're going to watch the dollar crash.
Van a mirar que el dólar va a caer.
That's what the economists are saying, everybody.
Eso es lo que los economistas están
So
diciendo.
make sure you got things for trading.
Asegúrate de tener cosas para
Make
intercambio.
sure you got money that's not in the bank. At least
Asegúrate
have
que
some around.
tienes dinero que no está en el banco, ten dinero en tu bolsillo.
Many of the economists are saying that it's going to crash in January.
Muchos de los economistas están diciendo que va a caer en enero.
Okay? Next story.
Próxima historia.
Please pay attention to all of this one. Sickness.
Pongan atención, por favor, a esta próxima historia de enfermedades.
Jehovah says in Deuteronomy 28, verse 22, I will strike you down with wasting diseases, fever, and inflammation.
Jehová dice en Deuteronomio 28:22 que te atacará con enfermedades debilitantes y fiebres.
Okay? The World Health Organization came out with a statement this week
La Organización de Salud vino con una nota esta semana
that they're very close where the epidemic is going to reach a pandemic.
están muy cerca de que esta epidemia se torne en una epidemia mundial o
Where we're going
pandemia,
to see 10,000 Ebola cases per week.
donde vamos a ver 10,000 casos de ébola por semana.
10,000.
10,000.
70% of the people that get Ebola,
Mucha de la gente que obtiene el ébola
they die.
mueren.
They die. Can I
Mueren.
make it 75 on that thermostat behind you, please? Okay? And then the next story,
En la próxima historia,
the United Nations warns we must try to beat Ebola in 60 days or it will become a pandemic.
las Naciones Unidas está advirtiendo que tenemos 60 días para contrarrestar la enfermedad de la ébola, si no será tarde.
Okay? This is really becoming a great problem, everybody.
Esto se está haciendo en un gran problema.
And this information that I'm giving you,
Y esta información que te estoy entregando,
please spread this information.
por favor, comparte esta
You know,
información.
my son Tristan's in college,
Mi hijo Tristan está en la universidad
and only one other of his classmates
y solo un estudiante de su clase
knew anything about this Ebola virus going around.
sabía algo acerca del virus de la ébola.
Eduardo said at his work, nobody knew about it.
Eduardo dice que en su trabajo nadie sabía de esto.
Please start spreading this information.
Por favor, comiencen a compartir esta información.
If you got emails, start spreading this news to everybody you know.
Si tienes correo electrónico, comparte estas noticias con todos los que conoces.
In the next because it's about to become a pandemic in the United States.
Está a punto de convertirse en una epidemia aquí en Estados Unidos.
The nurse from the Dallas hospital
La enfermera del hospital de Dallas,
who took care of the Ebola
que
patients
cuidó del paciente de ébola,
who died,
que murió,
she has Ebola now.
ella tiene ébola ahora.
And she had two of the nurses. I'm going to get to that. Okay? She had a fever,
Ella tuvo una fiebre
and it was very strange.
y era muy raro.
She took a plane from Dallas to Ohio to go see some people.
Ella tomó un avión desde Dallas hasta Ohio a ver unas personas.
Something smells funny here.
Algo huele muy chistoso aquí.
And there were over 100 people on the plane with her.
Y habían como 100 personas en el avión con
And
ella.
that plane went to 5 other destinations before being taken out of service.
Y el avión fue a 5 destinos más antes de que lo quiten de servicio.
Okay, and there's also now a second nurse with Ebola.
Hay una segunda enfermera con ébola.
And the nurse's boyfriend has Ebola. He has tested positive.
Y el novio de la enfermera tiene ébola también.
Okay? The next story.
La próxima historia.
Now, the Ebola virus has been around from a minimum since 1989.
El virus de la ébola ha estado desde 1989.
And the people that were working on the virus back then
Y la gente que trabajaba con el virus en ese tiempo
said that it is airborne.
dijeron que sí se transmite en el aire.
That if somebody coughs, you can get it.
Que si alguien estornuda, tú puedes
So
contagiarte con esa
make
enfermedad.
sure you have your oils.
Asegúrate de tener tus aceites.
Frankincense and myrrh,
El incienso y mirra,
hyssop,
hisopo
and
y
cassia.
casia.
If you start to get symptoms, it attacks your stomach system.
Si comienzas a tener síntomas, esto ataca tu estómago.
Put the cassia on your hand, warm it up,
Pon la casia en tus manos, caliéntala
and rub it all along your belly.
y después te la pones en tu vientre, en tu
And if
barriga.
you go out in public, make sure you got the hyssop and the frankincense and myrrh on your nose.
Si vas a salir a la calle, asegúrate de ponerte estos aceites en tu nariz.
Now, here was a very interesting story out of JFK yesterday.
Aquí hay una historia interesante de John F. Kennedy también.
A patient died on a flight to JFK yesterday.
Un paciente murió en el camino al aeropuerto del John F. Kennedy en
Somebody
Nueva
from
York.
Nigeria
Alguien de Nigeria
vomited on the airplane
vomitó en el avión
and then died.
y murió.
And Peter King, who's part of the Security Council of the United States,
Y Peter King, que es parte del Consejo de Seguridad de Estados Unidos,
he said he has got some very serious concerns.
él dice que tiene está muy preocupado.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
Safety.
Safety.
Oh.
Seguridad.
Okay, in Exodus 22 verse 2,
En Éxodo 22, verso 2.
the Torah gives you ability if somebody attacks you at night in your home,
La Torah te da habilidad o te deja que te permite matar a alguien si entra a tu casa
to defend yourself and kill that person.
para defenderte si entras a casa.
In Esther chapter 8 verse 11,
En Esther 8, verso 11,
the Jewish people were told that they can defend themselves.
la gente judía se le dijo que podían defenderse.
But in America, they're trying to get rid of guns.
Pero aquí en América están tratando de deshacerse de las armas.
But here is a very interesting fact.
Hay un factor interesante que
From the
vemos
Crime Prevention Center,
del Centro de Prevención de Crimen.
92% of all the mass shootings
92% de los ataques con armas masivos
happened in areas where no guns were allowed.
pasaron en áreas donde las armas no se permiten,
Okay? In gun-free zones.
en unas zonas libres de armas.
In Zechariah 14 verse 2,
En Zacarías 14, verso 2,
the Lord said, in the end of days,
el Señor dice que en el fin de los días
I will gather all nations against Israel.
voy a reunir todas las naciones en contra de Israel.
Okay? In this story here,
En esta próxima historia
in the
aquí,
United Kingdom,
en las Naciones Unidas,
their MPs voted to say yes to a Palestinian country.
los que son parte del Parlamento dijeron que sí al Estado palestino.
Let me see if I can show you my mouse. I want to see some of you. No, it's okay. See this lady right here in the red?
Si ven esta mujer aquí en el eterno rojo,
Okay? She voted yes to a Palestinian state.
ella votó que sí a un estado palestino.
Do you see her knees?
Ve sus rodillas.
She would not be able to wear a dress like that in Palestine.
Ella no podría vestir un vestido así en Palestina.
Do you see her cleavage here?
Si ves cómo se le ve el descote en el pecho,
She would be stoned to death in Palestine for dressing like this.
ella sería apedreada a muerte en Palestina si se vistiera así.
You see her hair?
Si ves su cabello,
She would be stoned to death for showing her hair in Palestine.
ella sería apedreada por mostrar su cabello en Palestina.
See this lady here?
Si ves esta dama aquí,
This lady here?
esa dama aquí,
And the vote went 274 to 12.
y el voto fue de 274 en contra de 12.
See this lady's knee?
Si ves la rodilla de esa
They
mujer,
would all be stoned to death in Palestine for dressing like this.
todas serían apedreadas en Palestina por vestirse así.
Okay? So before you vote for something, understand what you're voting for.
Antes de que votes por algo, entiende para qué estás votando.
There are no women's rights in Palestine.
Las mujeres no tienen derecho en Palestina.
There are no women's rights in any Muslim country, ladies.
No, las mujeres no tienen derechos en ningún país musulmán.
You know the only Middle Eastern country that has any women rights?
¿Sabes qué país en el Medio Oriente que tiene, la mujer tiene derechos?
It's called Israel.
Se llama Israel.
Okay. Okay, and the European Union is aiming to delegitimize the settlements in Israel, in Judea and Samaria.
Europa está tratando de hacer que los settlements,
Houses.
las casas que
Apartments.
fueron construidas sean ilegales.
Okay, so if you sell products that are from Judea and Samaria,
Si vendes productos que son de Judea y Samaria,
they're going to stop buying them from you.
van a dejar de comprarlos.
So with our money,
Con nuestro dinero,
find out where you spend it
mira dónde tú lo
and
gastas
start supporting anything that comes out of Israel,
y comienza a soportar o apoyar cosas que vienen de Israel,
because it's usually much better anyway.
porque es mucho mejor de todas
The
maneras.
mark of the beast, Revelation 13, verse 16.
A Revelaciones 13, verso 16, la marca de la bestia.
It forces everyone to have this mark so that they can buy or sell.
Fuerza a todos a tener esta marca, así pueden comprar o vender.
Here, Alaska Airlines, you see this with the guy's finger here?
Si ves esto con el,
Or woman's finger?
el dedo de esta mujer,
Okay. Their boardroom members can't log into the computer without using their finger.
los miembros no pueden entrar a tener acceso a la computadora si no utilizan la huella de su dedo.
Okay. Next story. Matthew 24, verse 7.
Mateo 24, verso 7.
Yeshua talks about wars.
Yeshua habla acerca de
In
guerras.
the end of days, there's going to be some serious wars.
En el fin de los tiempos va a haber muchas guerras muy serias.
Okay? I'd like you to notice this arrow here.
¿Estás notando esta flecha aquí?
This is an ISIS training video.
Este es un video de entrenamiento de ISIS.
Our wonderful presidents
Nuestro presidente maravilloso
left a whole bunch of American equipment behind from the military.
dejó mucho equipo militar detrás en where?
In Iran and Iraq.
En Irán e Irak.
Okay? And look what it says here.
Y mira lo que dice ahí en la carpa.
These are U.S. Army tents
Son carpas de las milicias de Estados Unidos
that ISIS is using to sleep in.
que ISIS está utilizando para descansar.
Thanks, Obama.
Gracias, Obama.
You're such a nice guy.
Eres un hombre muy bueno.
Now, here in China,
Y en China,
China is massively building up their military equipment
China está reuniendo mucho equipo militar
to the tune of billions of dollars.
a lo que llega a casi billones de dólares.
And it's messing with the balance of power in Asia.
Y está dañando el balance de poder en Asia.
All right, next story.
La próxima historia.
Okay, it has been proven that the Islamic State used chemical weapons against the Kurds.
Se ha probado que el Estado Islámico ha utilizado armas químicas en contra de los kurdos.
Okay, these people don't have any rules, everybody.
Esta gente no tiene reglas.
Okay, we got to be ready for them coming here
Tenemos que prepararnos porque ellos vendrán aquí.
because they're here.
porque ellos están aquí.
So get ready for things to happen.
Prepárense para cosas que sucedan.
And also in Matthew 24, the Lord talks about
En
earthquakes.
Mateo 24 habla de earthquakes.
Okay? In
Terremotos.
El Salvador, they had a 7.4 earthquake this week.
En El Salvador tuvieron un terremoto de 7.4.
That's a pretty big earthquake, everybody.
Ese es un terremoto fuerte.
And then also in Iceland,
Y en Islandia
there is lava coming out of one of their volcanoes.
está erupcionando, los volcanes en Island están erupcionando.
Okay? And the last time that this happened,
Y la última vez que esto sucedió,
it stopped a whole bunch of air flights to Europe,
detuvo los vuelos a Europa
and they lost $7 billion in revenue.
y perdieron $7 billones en ganancias.
All right, that's all the news stories we have for today.
Esas son todas.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just one or two scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.